Island. This is Wago. Welcome to Yanggang Big Island. If you haven't been to this channel before, this channel is all about everything Yang. Anything that's on the campaign, anything that's on YouTube, anything that's on the Reddit, anything that's on the Twitter, we're going to put it on this channel. Cliff notes, if you will. We're going to try and keep it between 5 and 10 minutes. And generally we start off with the same things. Everything that we talk about can be found in the description below, as well as updates about what's going on with the campaign. Today on Yang Daily 10, if you haven't been, go there. It takes 10 minutes to do something awesome for Andrew in the campaign. You'll learn about policy, you're getting involved. Today's Yang Daily 10 is whenever you go out anywhere, one time, pick somebody behind you and pay for their meal, pay for their drink, pay for their service. Turn around and say, the only thing I ask is that you Google Andrew Yang. Awesome, Yang Daily 10. Some things are like put up a sign, some things are like connect with somebody you haven't spoken to in over a year and talk to them about Yang and policies, ask them how they're doing. Anywho, Big Island, Twitter today, the pre-day B-Day cake in New Hampshire. Some of the people that showed up for an event brought him a birthday cake saying happy birthday. Andrew's authentic. He's talking about eating the cake Garfield style, and he makes a bunch of jokes, and it's just wholesome and awesome. It's very fun. Anywho, check that out. That'll be in the description down below. On Twitter as well. On Twitter, Elon joked about, will Elon get him a Cybertruck? How fun. Maybe 1,000 Cybertrucks. Caucus commitment cards. The numbers are going up. I heard a report that there's over 955 Yanggangers that descended upon Iowa. They're doing streets 25, 35, 45 minutes away from each one of their centers. 10 to 15 people, 4 to 5, 10 people go together, and they knock on 50 to 70 something doors, and out of all that, out of all the people they talk to, they only really have a conversation with 1 or 2 people. Out of those 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 people, out of those percentages, they're indifferent, or they've never heard of Yang, and or they are swaying towards one side or the other, but they do give due diligence to the process of democracy. So I think that anything that we put in the description below, if you haven't seen anything about Yanging or canvassing, watch it. It totally exemplifies what Yanggang code of ethics is. Even when we're joking and having fun, we're always keeping it real and keeping humanity first. All right, moving on. Caucus commitment cards, get them, get them, get them. Reddit, phone banking outreach, and text banking outreach. If you haven't gone to yang2020.com and signed up for volunteering, please do. It takes 5 minutes to sign up. They give you the tools that you need to have conversations. On Slack, you're able to talk to all Yanggang across the nation about things that come up. And also, like our channel, we're trying to get people together and organize a mobility to have a Yanggang phone banking party. We're looking for somebody that hosts 5, 10, 15 of us at a location that has a restroom, internet, so power, and maybe some seating would be great. But yeah, it's like a 6-hour stint, phone banking. Basically, we get in there, we hit Iowa and New Hampshire, and all these states are about to have their primaries, and we make sure that they've heard about Andrew Yang. Also, this channel's main priority is getting people registered to vote. Our primaries are in April, so if we could get everybody informed after the February primaries, when we come crashing down like a wave, it'll be nice to have this source. That's what this channel is, Yanggang Big Island. And if you want to get a hold of us, you can reach us at yanggangbigisland@gmail.com. All right, moving on to today's videos. The Washington Post had a policy where they compared Trump's Soleimani and the Iran interests right now to what Yang would do. It's very interesting talking about diplomacy and watching Yang actually communicate himself as if he is a leader. And I think a lot of people that don't see some sort of authoritarian kind of presence in him will watch these things and see, wow, the man talks with diction, wow, the man talks with authority. This man could be our next president and give him a real fighting chance, rather than playing with the old idea that, well, he's got no experience, he's not a politician. And we've kind of seen what being a politician gets us, and we've kind of seen what not being a politician gets us. It just depends on how you hold yourself. And with humanity first at the center of his human-driven capitalistic program, I do believe that we're going to be able to put humanity first, put the money back in the people's hands. Watch him talk about these things. Washington Post. Even Trump supporters are angry at the way that they have no media coverage about Andrew Yang. They don't so much care about the DNC and or that, but they do find it awkward when you're talking to people canvassing that they've never heard of this gentleman when he's out there. And all you absolutely have to do to anybody is say, Google Andrew Yang. I don't believe there's one thing out there that is like negative towards the campaign. They're doing their best. Besides the media blackout and the DNC basically non-favoring him, it really is the most authentic, steadily driven like American-driven revolution of a campaign that I've ever seen. It's amazing. Anywho, moving on. Go into our videos. Humanity for Yang. It's the town hall in Dover, New Hampshire on January 11th. At 15 mark, Evelyn introduces Yang. At 21:45, Andrew comes out and speaks. And at 53 minutes, the youngest person to ever ask a question at any event for a presidential candidate. Child must have been about 4 or 5, 6, 7, something like that. The diction and the questions in which he asked, he phrased that as a two-part question. And after he asked the question, Andrew complimented the parents. That must be one of the best households ever. Anywho, the questions that were asked were absolutely amazing, and they touched on things that would go with all of Andrew's policy. Andrew thusly talked about the freedom dividend, the UBI, the climate crisis rather than climate change, because it's absolutely a crisis. And then he started to go into taxation and accountability for the companies that basically coal, big business, big oil. That goes into that for the child, and the whole auditorium went crazy. It's amazing. Anywho, Humanity First. Down in the description below at 6:40, started talking about other sources other than the issues. What's happening right now is the DNC is misrepresenting the people. At this point, it's clearly obvious that the DNC is rigged and it's not pushing the agenda. If it were, they wouldn't be trying to use the media blackout, have less polls than there were in January, in like 1 week in December and or November, when there was clearly in the dozen, 36 polls I think were done in December. But anywho, out of the 3 or 4, he wasn't able to make that because, as you know, to make the debate, you had to have 2 at 7 or 4 at 5. That just didn't happen because the polls weren't there. That's suppression. That's rigged. YJ Gold, 7th day. He hurt his foot, but he's feeling better. Check into that if you've been watching this channel to keep going with that. If you like his channel, please subscribe. Lots of great information in there. Mindful Skeptics. Voices raffling off his hoodies, his another War on Normal People book, and he's got a couple people chiming out throughout the whole video. What I found interesting was about at the 13-minute mark, he starts talking about his experience after he started checking people into the live chat. Check out Voice of Mindful Skeptics, awesome channel. He's right on there too with all the others, with Russell and Grassroots, Matt and Zach, Problem Solver. He's right on top of it. Kai Watson, if you've been watching this, he's been talking about the 9,000 plus stores that they've knocked on just in their branch in Iowa for Yang Week. If you haven't heard of Yang Week, stop what you're doing, Google it. Yanggang all of Yanggang from all over the nation went to Iowa to help support Andrew Yang and inform the voters about canvassing and getting caucus guarantee cards, where they would go caucus for Andrew Yang and his ideas after just having one conversation, hearing the truth about what things could be. Oh, where's your Yanggang necklace? You don't have it? This is Ollie. Ollie, look at that. No, just me? Okay. Anywho, turning into Yang Month. That's where we're at. No longer Yang Week, Yang Month. People are staying later, so they're accommodating, they're ride sharing, they're sharing hotels. Yanggang, you're awesome. Shout out from Big Island. Awesome. At 6:50, his chat with Seth Cohen. Seth Cohen is part of Humanity Forward. Check out that channel as well. All of these have hashtags, so you just got to click on them to go there. Grassroots. Russell and his partner were covering it. Andrew and the Yanggang have been in the house gathering to kick off the New Hampshire canvassing. If you haven't seen one of these canvassing starters, watch it. It's just a bunch of people getting together, kicking it, listening to Andrew talk. They generally have some sort of food. It's just a party, but the idea is central. Humanity first. We're not there so much for the politics and the gender. We're there because we understand what this wave is, and it's going to be spreading. It's going to be spreading across the nation. And watch as they talk to Cuffy Proctor, that's C-U-F-F Proctor. Sorry, C-U-F-F-Y Proctor. He's talking about MathFest. So if you don't know what MathFest is, hashtag MathFest, and see if it's near you. And then watch Andrew answer all these questions while doing selfies and autographs. It's very funny to see him multitask. He's able to do multi-things at once. It's awesome. Summation Kid, I just threw this in here. This is from earlier in January, and it's an old clip, but I do like it. 2 o'clock. At 2-minute mark, they start talking about the UBI. At 9:30 in this video, that's located below, they mention, Andrew mentions Fred, and this was his 9th visit to Iowa. Thusly, Iowa's had Andrew visit him over 26 times. And it really does make the difference because Iowans, although the media and the DNC is suppressing it, are starting to hear the Andrew Yang. Not only that, but you cannot suppress local media news coverage from following 20, 30 people walking in blue Andrew Yang shirts going door-to-door canvassing. You just can't. It's on all the local news that the nation's not hearing about because nobody's covering it. And then lastly, problem solver politics, PSP, with Cardin and Cody. They chat about the DNC maybe rigging these polls and how Andrew has responded. Scholar, gentlemen, at 2:35, shouldn't the DNC be willing to be walking on eggshells now after what happened with Bernie in the 2016 election? It's a question we should all ask ourselves, and they do. And at 12, the interesting concept of how it is to be learning how to go through this on that. What the DNC should be leaning into, what we should be looking for as far as voters. When polls are done and it says 11 to 13% are not sure, they're unwilling to give an idea if they wanted to go towards Warren, Buttigieg, Biden, or if they're interested in any of the newer faces to the game. Most of them don't know about Andrea, so the polls aren't representative of what that is. Anywho, everything we talked about today has been put down in the descriptions. Remember, National Cooking Day and Andrew Yang's birthday is January 13th. Please go out and support National Cookie Day by asking local confectioners if they have it. Maybe they'll make them that day. We tried to get everybody on the Big Island, called every one of them, not one response. Emailed every one of them, not response. Sorry, Yanggang, we're trying our hardest. Remember to tune back in the channel because on January 26th, we're going to be having another meeting. The location's to be determined. I think we have a coffee shop in Hilo. Other than that, make sure you register everyone you know to vote. You could go to vote411.org. You could also go down to any vote gov site and do that. In Hawaii, for our primaries, will be the first time Hawaii's done this, but you can register the day of the primaries. So that's an option, which is awesome for Andrew Yang and the Democratic Party. However, if you are on the Big Island, what we've been suggesting is getting a Yang party bus and going around Highway 19 to all the different polling stations and showing our love for Andrew Yang. So, if you're already registered and you want to be a part of that, that is one less thing you got to do on the day of voting. Anywho, February is going to come awfully quick. There are 370-something days till Andrew Yang is inaugurated as the president, and we are doing this channel for you, Big Island. So if you want to get a hold of us, please contact us at yanggangbigisland@gmail. And if you'd like to donate. If you'd like to donate to the campaign, donate at yang2020.com. Go there to get information, go there to get events near you, and go there to get involved. Humanity first, baby. Anywho, aloha, Big Island.